Ilia Topuria reportedly really wants a title defense against Arman Tsarukyan if he gets past Justin Gaethje, according to Spanish ESPN, and that's a pretty surprising shift considering his previous stance on the matchup. The report claims that if there's one lightweight title defense Ilia truly wants next, it's Arman. Tsarukyan has remained one of the top contenders in the division for a long time, and if the Islam Makhachev fight doesn't materialize, there may not be another clear option left at the top. What makes this especially interesting is that Ilia has previously spoken very negatively about the Tsarukyan matchup, even saying in the past that he'd rather retire than fight him. That's why this latest report caught so many fans off guard, but realistically, the lightweight picture may be forcing the situation. If Topuria beats Justin and the Islam fight doesn't materialize, the Arman fight could become impossible to avoid. Stylistically, it's also one of the toughest tests available for Ilia, with Arman's wrestling, pressure, and physicality presenting a completely different challenge compared to most of the division. Justin just fired a massive warning shot at Ilia, promising to change his face. Let's dive into it.
But I have a great coach, and we're going to have a great plan. And I'm going to, change his face, just like I always do to all my opponents.
Oh, I love that. That gets me excited.
One thing I've always said is when I think my younger self would beat, myself now, then it would be time to call it quits. And having these challenges, being the underdog against Paddy was awesome. I convinced myself they're better than me. I convinced myself I'm going to lose. That way I work so hard. And when I do win and when I am successful, I'm surprised. I was surprised at how effective and how dominant that fight was, because again, these guys have so much momentum. Paddy has so much momentum, and it's really something similar to this fight that I'm going to have to steal early. And I was able to do that with a big body shot and, drop him in the first round. And then now he's battling momentum. And that's going to be a big factor in this fight as well. So, these young up-and-comers, they're not going to stop. These kids are coming from all over the world.
Michael Bisping just broke down the massive Paddy Pimblett versus Benoit Saint-Denis matchup set for International Fight Week, and according to him, the stakes couldn't be much higher for Paddy. Bisping explained that if Paddy manages to beat BSD, he immediately throws himself right back into the lightweight title conversation. Bisping believes a win could even revive the long-building rivalry between Paddy and Ilia Topuria. He pointed out that the fact the two have already faced off inside the octagon adds more fuel to a potential fight. At the same time, Merab Dvalishvili revealed an interesting detail about Ilia's mindset going into the Justin fight. The machine said Ilia told him that if Paddy had beaten Justin, he would have gladly fought Paddy next and then pursued Islam afterward. But once the highlight won, Ilia apparently felt the matchup didn't really make sense for him anymore in the bigger picture. That creates a very interesting situation around Paddy versus BSD. If Paddy wins, not only does he bounce back into contender status, but he potentially reopens one of the biggest grudge matches the UFC could make at lightweight with Topuria. But if BSD spoils the moment, the entire division shifts again.
There's no more Jared Gordon matchups, okay? And I don't say that as a disrespect to Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon is a tremendous fighter, and he pushed Paddy to the absolute limit that night. The question that I'm asking you is this the right fight for Paddy Pimblett? I think when you look at all of the rankings, the answer is yes. I think this is a winnable fight. I think it's a very, very dangerous fight. I think Benoit Saint-Denis probably hits a little bit harder. Benoit Saint-Denis on the ground might be able to handle Paddy's submission game, but there's also a world where Paddy takes him down, gets on top of him, and has a 10-7 round to start, just like Renato Moicano did, and then finishes him in the second. Who knows? Maybe he gets a finish in the first. I think this is perfect matchmaking. Certainly when you factor in that it's International Fight Week, you got Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway in the main event, Paddy Pimblett, the Scouser versus the Frenchman in Benoit Saint-Denis, Corey Sandhagen taking on Mario Batista, Brandon Royval taking on London's Loney Kavanagh, Gable Stevenson making his UFC debut.
Dana White went off on the controversial stoppage in the Usyk versus Rico Verhoeven fight, calling it a horrible ending to a bout that had been competitive right up to the finish. The fight, which was being closely contested with Rico appearing to have control through large stretches, ended in the 11th round when the referee stepped in and stopped it in what many have described as a premature decision. The controversy only grew after Rico himself spoke out immediately after the fight, specifically pointing to the timing of the stoppage in relation to the bell. He said the fight was stopped after the bell had already sounded to end the round, Rico explained that he wasn't dazed or out of the fight when the intervention came. Rico also didn't rule out pushing the result further, suggesting his team could appeal the loss. In his eyes, the fight either needs to be reviewed as a potential no contest or sent to the scorecards, where he's confident he was ahead when it ended. The situation has sparked major debate across combat sports, with Dana White's reaction adding even more fuel to the controversy.
Welcome to boxing, boys. I mean, is it shocking? Yes. Is it shocking? No. I mean, it's just, that is boxing. It's just the way that sport always seems to play out. It's unfortunate. Yeah. Definitely a bad stoppage. One of the worst I've ever seen. You know what I mean? He goes in, and when they played it back in slow motion, he's kind of like dancing, like he doesn't know what to do, whether he's going to jump in or not jump in. Driving me crazy, man. I'm like, what fucking fight is he watching? Are you shitting me right now? I was so frustrated. But anyway.
Huge news for International Fight Week. Welterweight banger Daniel Rodriguez has officially confirmed he's stepping in against former champion Leon Edwards at UFC 329. Rodriguez revealed he received the offer and accepted it, setting up a high-stakes clash between two of the division's most dangerous strikers. Rodriguez is coming off a win over Kevin Holland and is pushing to break into the top ranks, while Leon Edwards is aiming to climb back into title contention after recent setbacks. UFC 329 is shaping up to be an absolute monster card. The card goes down July 11th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson is making his UFC debut on the card, with Conor McGregor taking on Max Holloway in the main event. With Rodriguez versus Edwards almost locked in, this stacked card just got another massive fight that fans are going to be talking about for weeks. Let's roll the clip of D-Rod confirming the Leon Edwards offer for UFC 329.
Ideally, in a perfect world, when would you get back in the octagon?
Man, I'll be real with you guys. I'm probably looking about International Fight Week, and I got an amazing offer. So you guys will probably see me in there with Leon Edwards, International Fight Week, man. That's sometime around July.
Wow, did they offer that to you?
Just today, man. And been thinking about it, made the decision right now. I'm accepting the offer for Leon Edwards, International Fight Week.
Leon Edwards didn't hold back at all when talking about Ian Machado Gary, and he went straight for the biggest talking point in Gary's career so far. Leon brought up Gary's fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov and said that loss is Gary's biggest achievement in the sport. The two were rumored to fight a while ago, but that matchup has long since passed. For now, Edwards is looking at a potential D-Rod fight, which is far from an easy matchup. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.